Hello everyone, so for this video, I'm gonna teach you how to start and how to end the robe. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna do a slip knot and then we're gonna chain 13. Okay, so by the way guys, this tutorial, I will just teach you the beginning of the robe and then how to start each row, okay? But then I'm gonna skip it and then we'll go to the sides. Okay, so after you chain 13, you're gonna do a single crochet on the second chain from your hook. So this is the first chain and then this is the second chain, okay? So you're gonna do your first single crochet here. Okay, so we're gonna do 12 single crochets on this first row. Okay, so I'm just gonna speed up the video. And then once we're on our last chain, okay, we're gonna do our last single crochet here. There we go. So this is what we're gonna do on every row, okay? We're gonna chain one, and then we're gonna turn our work, and then follow the pattern for the next row. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do for each row. Chain one, turn, and then do the next row. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this one and we'll go to the end of our the end row, okay, the last row. So this is row 13. So on the last chain on row 13, we're gonna do an increase. So we're gonna do a 2 single crochet on the last chain. Okay, so we're now on the corner and then we will do 1 single crochet on each row. So this is how we're gonna do the single crochet around the robe. Okay. So now that we're on top of the robe, we're not gonna do any increases here, but instead we're gonna go directly on this first chain on the top. And while doing your single crochet, tuck this tail in so that you won't have to weave it in later, okay? So for this top part, we should have 12 single crochets here. Okay, so this is the beginning. This is the first row of our robe, remember? So that's 12 single crochets here on top. So I'm just gonna speed this up. So just do the same thing on the other side. So 1 single crochet for each row. And once we reach the end of this row, we're gonna do an increase on the last row here. Okay, so single increase and then we're gonna slip stitch on the first chain of our row 13. Okay, so once we're done, we're gonna cut our yarn. So just leave a long tail, enough for us to use in sewing it to the body. So now I'm gonna do an invisible fasten off. So if you want to see a detailed tutorial on how to do an invisible fasten off, you can check my channel. I did a detailed tutorial on how to do this one. Okay, there. Okay, and once we're done, okay, we're gonna position this one on our character. Okay. So I'm gonna start sewing it in around the waist. So I'm just gonna position the robe first around my doll to mark where I want the yarn to end up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just weave in this yarn until I reach that desired position. So that's around the waist position where I want this to be sewn in. Okay, so don't pull too hard guys because you don't want the robe to fold. So once we have set the position where we want to sew it in our character, I'm gonna do a knot here just to be sure that I won't accidentally pull the yarn and cause the robe to fold. Okay, so once we have set that in, this is where we will sew it in our character, okay? But before we do that, you should do the patch first, okay? So we will do the embroidery for the patch on our robe first before we attach the robe to our character. So I have already made a separate video on the embroidery, so just check it out.